Hi, I'm excited to try these videos with you guys, and I hope it goes well. Hope you enjoy it. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about why we're going to start with the book of Genesis in our study, and why the first questions I sent out are entirely out of the book of Genesis, or just about all of them are out of the book of Genesis. And that is that Genesis is a foundational book. Just flat out, I'll just state it. The point of the Bible, if you read through it and study it, is that the Bible is God saying, it's the inspired word of God, so it's God saying, this is who I am, and this is how I plan to save you. And he starts to show those things, and he shows them for the first time and states them explicitly for the first time in the book of Genesis. All the rest of the Bible flows out of that. As a matter of fact, you can find all of that within the first 11 chapters of Genesis. Everything else is additional descriptions and him showing how he's going to do it, and all kinds of great truths come out of it. But the essential truth is, this is who I am, and this is how I relate to you, this is how I'm going to save you. Those things are right there in the first 10, 11 chapters of Genesis. So that's why we're starting with Genesis. That's why it's super important in order for us to understand the rest of the Bible, is because since it starts with this stuff, and this is the first place it says it, and this is the place that all of the rest of the Bible builds out of, it's really important for us to understand this book before anything else. So I really can't wait to dig further into it with you. We've already covered outside of videos a little bit about Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, and Noah. And we'll continue on into talking about Abraham and his progeny, and describing that. I just wanted to point out really quick, and I'll talk about this outside of the videos also, that God describes who he is the first time in the very first chapter of Genesis. He made us, and he made us with care. He formed us. He spoke everything else into existence, but he formed us, and he breathed his life, his spirit, his breath into us. And that's how we became human souls. So we have three parts, just like he does. We have a body, a spirit, and a soul, just like he has a father, a spirit, and son. Different names, but when it comes right down to it, three parts. So in his image. Doesn't mean our bodies look like his body. It means that we are constructed in a similar fashion to him, and he planned it that way. So we start to see how he wants to relate to us right there. He wants us to be his children. We are like him. He has progeny. He has descendants in us. And we throw it away. It's the first thing we do. That's how we relate to him. We throw it away, and we try to be little gods ourselves. Why did we want the fruit? Yeah, it looked good. It tasted good. But it was desirable to make one wise. We wanted to have his knowledge, his wisdom. We wanted to be able to spin our own little worlds off of our creative fingertips. And so we see our relationship with him take a dark turn because of our action, because of a tempter, a serpent, who we call Satan. Now, the first thing that God did upon our fall, Adam's sin, was to prophesy Christ. He told the serpent, and he didn't prophesy to Adam and Eve because they wouldn't have got it yet. But the serpent got it. Satan got it. Because Jesus said, I'm going to send a seed of Eve, and she will crush your head. You'll strike his heel, but your head will be crushed. That's kind of an awesome way to put it. God's kind of combative when it comes to protecting his kids, like any good father. Now, he has progeny. He's relating to us. We've messed up. We've separated ourselves from him, but he has a plan to save us. What are we like without him? Well, Cain shows us that. In the Bible, there's no difference in being a man separated from God who's eating fruit and a man separated from God who's killing his brother, because we're capable of either with equal ease. Cain did that. Cain was the first murderer, and it was the second sin. The second one. The second action taken against God. It's pretty harsh. And he did it because he wanted God to pay attention to him instead of Abel. God accepted Abel's sacrifice and not mine. Well, I'll kill Abel, and that way God will have to, accept my sacrifice. God didn't. He had other plans. He gave Adam and Eve a new son, and he drove Cain out. So we see that God isn't going to be pushed around by man, but that he does have a plan. But to do what? Just to defeat Satan? No, he's got a plan to save us. How do we know that? Because the next story is about Noah. And what is Noah about? It's about a man who walked with God when the world was sin. It was just sin. That was all that was there. Everything was against God. Everything was evil towards one another and towards the world itself. And what did God do? He said, I'm going to wash away everything wrong with this world. You're walking with me, build a boat. And because Noah was walking with God, he built the boat, and God saved him. The boat didn't save Noah. Noah couldn't shut the door to the boat. He couldn't steer the boat to keep it from being crushed by the waves. But God steered the boat. God shut the door. God saved Noah. As a matter of fact, the flood itself and Noah passing through the flood is, in the New Testament, referred to as the first image of baptism. So we really see that this is the first image of God's salvation of man and the world. So everything, like I said, everything that we believe about God is first shown to us by him in Genesis. And that's why I'm really excited to continue this study as we move forward and start talking about big concepts in the Bible that carry through the rest of the Bible, like covenant and relationship with God, like the one that Abraham had. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll continue on next time.